So let me ask you something. Is anyone born knowing how to make money? Of course not. It's not some gene you inherit, right? It's a skill. And it's a skill you build brick by brick, one action at a time. So today we're going to dig into why building real wealth is all about that practice, not just trying to find the perfect stock pick. This is where so many people start. I get messages all the time asking, hey, is Bitcoin good? Should I buy gold? They see someone else making gains, and they figured the secret has to be just knowing what to buy. They're just hunting for that one guaranteed win. And, well, this is the flip side of that same coin. They'll ask about these copy trading platforms or some high-yield thing and go, okay, what's the guaranteed annual return? The focus is completely on the end result, like there's some magic machine you just feed money into. But, and this is a big but, that misses the entire point. And look, this is really the heart of the issue. These are just the wrong questions to be asking. Honestly, for a total beginner, what you buy almost doesn't matter. I mean, you could be handed the most perfect, can't-miss investment and still find a way to lose everything. Why? Because the skill isn't in having the key, it's knowing how to actually turn it in the lock. So that brings us to our first big idea here, this constant, flawed search for a shortcut. Let's really break down why just hunting for a hot tip is basically a recipe for disaster. Just look at the disconnect here. The novice is laser-focused on the asset, what should I buy, or that hot tip they heard. But the real problem? It's the complete lack of experience. It's not knowing how to manage risk, it's underestimating all the little things that can go wrong. Think about it. You could own the best crypto in the world, but if you lose your recovery phrase, it's all gone. See? The what didn't matter because the how was totally missing. And this whole search for a shortcut, it feeds this illusion that there's some secret formula out there. People think building wealth is like a puzzle where they're just missing that one final piece. But oh man, the reality is so much more complicated. Yeah, it's not like you're missing one piece of the puzzle. It's like you're missing 100 pieces. For someone who's never invested, never tried a side hustle, the path is just littered with traps they can't even see yet. Someone else might walk that same path and succeed, but without that experience, you're just going to fall into one of those pits. And this is the classic way it all goes wrong, right? Step 1, you get that so-called guaranteed tip. Step 2, you buy into it, feeling pretty clever. But then, step 3, you make a simple rookie mistake, something an experienced person would avoid without even thinking about it. And boom, step 4, your capital is gone. The investment itself was never really the problem. Your process was the weak link. Okay, so if it's not about finding a magic formula, what is it about? It's about contribution. At its core, making money is your reward for providing real value. That could be identifying a need nobody's meeting, or closing an information gap, or even just filtering out all the market noise to find the truth. Even successful investing is just a reward for finding the correct price of something, which is its own kind of contribution to society. All right, this brings us to what might be the single most important idea in this whole explainer. You have to earn your qualification. Wealth is a skill, and you build it through a process that the source material calls tempering. So, what exactly does that mean? Okay, so tempering is a really active, hands-on thing. This isn't about reading a bunch of books. It's about being in the arena, getting your hands dirty. It means running into real-world problems and figuring out how to solve them yourself. Every single problem you solve personally, it sharpens your skills and actually expands your capacity to earn in the future. So how do you even measure a skill like this? Well, it's not about your IQ score. It's all about your history of action. How long have you actually been in the game? How often are you practicing? How many different kinds of problems have you tackled? And maybe most importantly, how many of those impossible hurdles did you finally manage to get over? These are the real metrics that define your future earning potential. And check this out, because this is huge. The data here is pretty clear. Things like a high IQ or a fancy college degree, they have a surprisingly weak correlation with actually building wealth. But what has a super strong correlation? You guessed it. This whole idea of tempering, that real world, messy, hands-on experience. When it comes down to it, practice beats theory pretty much every single time. And this is such a critical insight to grasp. You can literally see a massive opportunity sitting right there in front of you. But if you haven't put in the work to build the foundation, the skills, the team, the experience, it's simply not your opportunity to grab. The qualification to make big money is something that has to be earned. It's not just handed out.
So, let's take this whole idea to its logical conclusion. This process of tempering, of constant practice and problem solving, it doesn't just give you a bunch of skills. It fundamentally shapes who you are as a person. It creates what we could call the billionaire's mindset.
Right. Success at that kind of level requires total, complete immersion. It's not a weekend hobby. You have to be constantly in the game, living it, breathing it, solving one specific problem after another, day in and day out. That's how you build a tough, resilient team. That's how you lay the groundwork, so when that one huge opportunity finally shows up, you're actually ready for it.
And here is a really sobering number for you. You could take the most brilliant person on the planet, put them in a brand new field with a totally new team, a team with zero history of execution. What's their probability of failure? It's nearly 100%. That foundation built from all the previous work, it's everything. It's not negotiable.
Which, it brings us to this fascinating question that people ask all the time. Why on earth does someone like Elon Musk, who has hundreds of billions of dollars, still sleep on the factory floor? It's so easy to just shrug and say, oh, it's greed, but that explanation completely, totally misses the point.
And the answer, when you think about it, is just perfectly simple. That incredible work ethic, that total immersion, that relentless need to solve problems, that stuff isn't a consequence of being a billionaire. It's the cause. If they weren't that kind of person, they would never have become billionaires in the first place. The skill of wealth, it's not a secret you find. It's a character you build.
Smash like and subscribe.